It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news. This is the Southwest Outdoors Report.
Hi everybody, you're on board for episode number 1 of 39 consecutive episodes of the best fishing the Southwest region has to offer. Welcome in to the 2013 edition of your Southwest Outdoors Report. Each week we take you in search of the hottest fishing spots, the latest gear, and the best news and information we can bring you to help you catch more fish in the upcoming weekend fishing trips around the entire states of Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas. Now, as we join you for the 2013 season, we are right in the midst of the annual springtime white bass spawning run. However, the worst drought of yours and my lifetimes is having a real impact on the white bass spawn this year. And our goal in the next half hour is to tell you what impact that's having and how you can go find and catch some white bass of your very own in the next few weeks. To help us do that, we're going to use today as our test tube the Brazos River system. Now, the Brazos River starts up in northwest Texas, runs down through Possum Kingdom Lake, through Lake Granbury, through Lake Whitney, down through Georgetown and right on to the Gulf of Mexico. And this system is loaded with white bass all the way up and down the chain. So we're going to use this to show you how to locate and catch these white bass, and we'll be telling you lots of other places around the region where you can go and catch them as well. So it's going to be a lot of excitement, and first I'm going to get the Nitro Z8 into the Brazos River, and then in addition to that, we're going to be taking you around the region for all your latest fishing reports from our expert team of reporters, just to help you out with the latest hot spots from the rest of the region. First though, we take you back to the FSN studios where Julie is standing by with the first look at your weekend planner.
The fishing tables for the first weekend of spring indicate the prime times will start in the mornings, with fair conditions predicted for Saturday and good conditions on Sunday. The sun will rise at 7:27 and set at 7:41. And evenings will showcase a moon that is 85% illuminated. Stay with us, we're coming right back with all of your fishing updates from around the Southwest. Plus, Keith Combs will join me later for the Whataburger Ask the Pro.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Mercury, the official outboard of the Southwest Outdoors Report for 11 years running. By Academy, right stuff, low price, every day. And by Tracker Boats, fish the finest.
What do we got? Oh, big white bass, big one. Oh man, look at this. That dude's going nuts. I'll just do that right there. All right. Hey everybody, we're talking white bass fishing today all around our Southwest region on the show. And that is a big female white bass right there. Big, wide body. Look at the size of that baby right there. These fish are instinctively being pulled out of lakes and rivers all around our Southwest region, and they're moving up creeks and way up to the upper ends of the rivers to lay their eggs and spawn. I'm going to let that fish go back. I'm not keeping him today. And I'll tell you that when these eggs begin to ripen in these females, they're going to instinctively begin that move. Now, two main factors move them up creeks and rivers. Number one is warm water. Number two is current. Well, guess what? They don't really have either one of those two factors around our region this year. We've had a cool to cold spring around our region, and the water really hasn't warmed up all that much yet. And number two, not much current because we're still in a drought. Don't have much rain to work with around most of our region. But instinct, Mother Nature, what God built into these fish kicks in anyway, and they push up creeks and rivers even when they don't have the warm water and the current. So above Lake Sam Rayburn on the Angelina River, above Palestine on the Natchez River, above Toledo Bend on the Sabine, the Illinois River in Oklahoma, those are the type places where the white bass spawn is pretty normal this year. Don't go west, it's dry there. But you can catch them out west tell you how you can catch them in a lake that's very low and doesn't have much water in the creeks and rivers, coming up in a little bit. Right now though, we get you started on your weekly fishing and lake reports. First up, here's Brian Hughes in Texas.
Hi everybody, and welcome to the first Lone Star Lakes of the new season. Brought to you by Johnson's Fiberglass Collision. For my money, if you need a boat or RV repaired, these guys do the best work in the business. Now it is spring in Texas and there is a lot going on the fishing scene. First, at Falcon Lake, we're in a post-spawn mode and you'll want to move out from the spawning areas and use baits like your drop shot, Carolina rig, or deep diving crankbaits. Now over at Fork, it's just the opposite situation. It's pre-spawn. Fish are just now showing up on beds. You can use red cordell spots, spinner baits, Cinco's weightless, or a Texas rig lizard to try and catch your Lake Fork giant bass. It's already given up 3 Sherrilunkers this year. That's the ones over 13 pounds. And finally, up on Texoma, we're just starting to see bass moving in a very, very pre-spawn mode. So you'll fish medium depths anywhere from 6 to 15 feet. Use your deep diving crankbaits and your large spinner baits on Texoma for some good smallmouth action. Now, don't forget to check the blog page at southwestoutdoorsreport.com for more weekly information. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes. Let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus, the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, as a new season begins, here are our coastal specifics. Spring arrived Wednesday, March 20th. A stretch of warm weather has moved water temperatures from the lower 60s to the mid to upper 60s. We'll have to deal with yo-yo weather patterns that fluctuate from warm to cool, plus there'll be the ever-present strong spring winds. And the best bite has been on incoming or flooding tides that will bring shrimp and other bait back into the bays from the Gulf and flood back lakes and marshes. Obviously, the lower coast has the warmest water temperatures, and out of Port Isabel, the best bite has been from Holly Beach to Airport Cove for redfish with some quality speckled trout mixed in. Live shrimp under a popping cork has been best. Longbar has scattered trout and reds. Now the land cut has given up some good black drum. Baffin Bay has a good bite around the rocks, and along the King Ranch shoreline, trout are moving shallow. During warmer weather, topwater lures have been good around grassy shorelines from Port Aransas to Matagorda. Now when the topwater bite slows, try soft plastics in water 4 feet all the way to the shoreline. Galveston Bay and Sabine have seen bird activity as shrimp move into the bays. Trout have also been around shorelines in water 2 feet deep. Sheep's head and black drum have been good at the jetties, along with some oversized reds. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Got another one. Swimming at the boat. They always take off straight at the boat. You don't know how big they are. Oh yeah. Oh, look at the size of that monster. There we go. Yes, look at that. All right, we're talking white bass fishing today. Creeks and rivers around our region. Hey, you know what the best thing about this white bass fishing is? Is that it's so dang easy. Literally, if you can cast and reel it back in, you can catch a white bass this time of the year. It's perfect fishing for a kid, if you want to bring the kids along, for an elderly grandparent. I'll show you, well, I'm going to put this fish back first. We're not keeping them today. This is a loose Tournament SL speed stick. It's the red rod, very recognizable. We've got a loose speed spin reel spooled up with Stren Sonic braid line. I love to throw braided line on a spinning reel. A number of soft plastic baits. Then you can pick up a bait cast rod and reel or a spin cast rod and reel, put on a lipless rattling crankbait like the Strike King Red Eye Shad. I'll show you these baits at the end of the show. If it looks and swims like a minnow or a shad, it'll catch these white bass up in shallow water while they're spawning. this time of the year, and it is a blast. And the last good thing about it, they're great to eat. Cut that red out, keep the white meat, tasty table fare. Okay, let's check in right now with my friend Gary Dollahan for your Oklahoma fishing and lake reports.
Hey, welcome back to the Southwest Outdoors Report in the Sooner Beat. It is my pleasure to once again be bringing you the weekly fishing reports from the state of Oklahoma for the 2013 season. And boy, has March come in like a lion. Already several new lake records since the first of the year, and especially two noteworthy largemouth bass catches. Billy Lemon of Sand Springs caught a new Grand Lake record on Sunday, March 3rd, 12.3 pounds, and that catch was exactly 1 week after the Bassmaster Classic wrapped up on that lake. More recently, Dale Miller from Panama, Oklahoma catches a new state record largemouth, 14 pounds, 13.7 ounces from Cedar Lake in the southeast part of the state. Cedar Lake is where the previous record was caught just about a year ago, and he beats that record by a little more than 1 ounce. Both guys were throwing umbrella rigs. Remember those? They're kind of a wireframe looking contraption like you see on an umbrella, and they have 5 baits trailing off of them. Both guys caught their fish on Gina Ruth 3.5-inch sweet swimmer minnows in the Alabama shad color. Now Dale's situation is kind of unique in that his next door neighbor is Josh Walls, who owns Bass Fanatics in Poto. Josh already had a rod and reel rigged up with that rig on it. He told Dale where to go, how to fish it. Dale goes down there, 4th or 5th cast, catches this giant record fish. He and his brother Bonnie spend the rest of the day getting the record processed, so he didn't get to do any more fishing, but man, what a memorable day he had out there. Now, Josh also tells me that he's got a lot of customers coming through right now that are catching fish on Worcester. They're catching crappie. March is a great time of year to catch big fish, a great time of year to catch a lot of different fish because fish are getting really active, starting to stage for the spawn. It was wonderful seeing a lot of you visiting us at the Bassmaster Classic in late February. I look forward to seeing you on the water. Remember, one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
Come up. Come up. Oh, good one. That big old fat female right there. Man, we found them, it looks like. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break right here. Look how round and fat that white bass is. She's up there getting ready to lay those eggs. They've ripened up in there, and she's looking for a place to run up there. She's looking for current and can't find it. Back she goes. Thank you. I want to mention before we go to the break, we're doing something brand new this season for the very first time. If you want the real inside scoop on what we're doing here, including the location where we are, a map to get you exactly where we're fishing, we're going to give away our spots for the first time ever. But in order to see these, you have to be a member of our website. All you do is go to the front page at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. At the very top, you click to either log in if you're already a member, or click where it says sign up. It's free to create an account. Once you do that, you'll be able to go to the members only page and the members bonus video page. And each week we're going to put some bonus video up there for you to see that gives lots more information about what we caught the fish on, how we caught them, and more importantly, where we caught them. That's going to help you catch more fish. Got to be a member first. Go to the website, check it out, sign up right now to become a member, and you'll be on the inside scoop. Stay with us. We'll be back to the Brazos River right after this.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Lubes, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strand Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. And by Whataburger, just like you like it.
There's one. Hear that sonic braid line singing through the rod guides here. Come up. Big fish. Oh, and he's hooked right under the fin. There we go. Wow. Look at that toad right there. She flashed at it, missed it with her mouth, and it caught right behind her left fin. That's a big old female white bass right there. Hey, welcome back everybody. Talking white bass fishing on your Southwest Outdoors report. And we've caught some good ones today. That's a beautiful fish. Up here spawning, and we're letting them go back and spawn. So let's put that one back. Let her go back and do her business. See ya. If you don't have enough water depth in your creeks and rivers for a good white bass spawn, you back out, go to the main lake, the main reservoir, and what you're looking for are little sandy points that run out in the lake. That is plan B for a white bass. They want to run up there, lay those eggs. The male will come in and fertilize them on any little sandy or gravelly point that runs out in the lake. You need 3 to 5 feet of water. That's the magic depth to find those spawning white bass. But it can still happen. You can still catch a big old stringer or basket full of them if you'll do that, if you're in a place that doesn't have good water in your creeks and rivers. Let's check in next. From Louisiana, here's Cajun Phil.
Hi friends, Cajun Phil here with your Fox Louisiana Fishery Report. Want to welcome you back. I'm going to be here each and every week this entire year. So glad that you join us once again. Keep in mind, each and every week it's either going to be old Cajun Phil or Captain Kevin, or both of us giving you the reports from Louisiana. We'll talk about bass fishing. We'll talk about saltwater fishing. One thing you got to keep in mind though, friends, no matter whether you want to go to Toledo Bend, whether you want to go to Caddo, whether you want to go to False River, the Chapelai Basin, any of our river systems, whether you want to go anywhere from, say, Calcasieu Lake, all the way to Venice, Louisiana, Delacroix, Hopedale, Shell Beach, Lafitte, contact Cajun Phil. We know all the guides at all the areas. We're talking to them each and every week. We'll be able to put you in touch with the guide wherever you want to go. Simple to reach me, CajunPhil@hotmail.com. One more time, that's CajunPhil@hotmail.com. Or simply call me, 337-540-5530. And next week, Captain Kevin and I head down to Delacroix, Hopedale, and Shell Beach. We'll bring you some reports from that area, let you know what's going on. Today, Captain Kevin's on Calcasieu Lake. They're catching a few speckled trout. It's been windy now for about 3 or 4 days. Speckled trout's a little slow. The wade fisherman did really good on big speckled trout. Tomorrow, he's going to catch redfish. Tell you what, saltwater fishing's good, Toledo Bend's good. I'll bring you a report on Toledo Bend next week. Kevin will bring you a local report, and we'll let you know what's going on the eastern part of the state. I tell you what, till next time, this is old Cajun Phil. For Captain Kevin saying, join us each and every week, and may God bless. We're going to see you next week.
The Southwest Outdoors Report is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide Trolling Motors, engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Bass Boats, pure performance.
Welcome back everyone. It's time now for our Whataburger Ask the Pro feature. Our question this week is from Jameson in Texas, who writes, when will bass move into shallow water to spawn? For the answer, we went to the Toyota Texas Bass Classic and asked 2011 champion Keith Combs.
When bass move into spawn, is all determined by the weather and different parts of the country. Like in Texas, North Texas, it may be more like an April or May time frame. Down in South Texas, like around Falcon or here at Conroe, they may start to spawn late January, early February. But keep an eye on the water temperature and look for several days of stable warming weather when the water temperature is coming out of the 50s into the 60s, and start heading shallow and looking for bass spawning.
Thank you, Keith. If you have a question for one of the pros, just visit our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Ask the Pro link, and send us your information. Now let's see who Barry has for the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's Costa Catch of the Week winner is Bobby Holland of Bonham, Texas, shown here along with his little son Austin and a 6-pound, 9-ounce largemouth bass they caught at Bonham Lake. If you would like to enter our contest and have a great chance to win a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses, just like Bobby does on this week's show, what you need to do is go to our website at southwestoutdoorsreport.com. On the right-hand side of the frame, you'll see the Costa Catch of the Week area. Click there, follow the instructions, and you might win a brand new pair of Costas like this week's Frame Style of the Month. It's Tag. It's the frame style I've been wearing on this week's episode. It's a fantastic lens, 580 glass lens, filters out all the yellow light, and the beautiful new tag frame style. And you can see all the frame styles at their website. You're seeing those there. You just go to our front page, southwestoutdoorsreport.com, click on the Costa logo, and you can see everything from Costa. Time right now for this week's Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, where we show you the baits that you'll need to catch white bass at your favorite creek, river, lake, or reservoir. And as you can see here, I've got them laid out. We caught most of the fish today, top left, on the Bobby Garland Stroller. You can see that is a chartreuse and green color rigged on a lead head, about 1/4 ounce. Below that, we did catch some fish on the Strike King Red Eye Shad, top right. That's another great bait, a crankbait. That's the KVD Square Bill crankbait. That's the 2.5, runs 3 to 5 feet deep. And below that is a little spoon. Next up this season, we're introducing a brand new feature called Stuff That Matters. It's my chance to get away from fishing just for a second and pass along something that's maybe a little more important in life than fishing, as hard as that is to imagine. My wife and I have been volunteers for about 3 years now in the CASA program. It's a fantastic program that's all over the country, whereby volunteers give their time to help walk little kids through the court system who have been taken from their homes by Child Protective Services. It's a very rewarding venture, and one that allows us to give back into our culture, into our society, some of our time, effort, and energy, and it pays off in a lot of little kids' lives. But the point here, as good citizens, all of us have a responsibility to give back to our community in some way. Could be through something like Habitat for Humanity or Meals on Wheels or one of the local homeless shelters, or through your church. But the world will be a much better place if all of us will do a little better job at being givers instead of takers only. That's this week's Stuff That Matters. I hope you've enjoyed our time today on the Brazos River. Go out on a local creek or river or reservoir in your area. Have a great time catching white bass, yes, this coming weekend. And we will see you right back here on the show next week. The show will air at 10:30 p.m. Thursday night, unless the Dallas Mavericks basketball game runs late, and if it does, we'll be on right after the post-game show. You always need to set your DVR for the Saturday morning airing because it never changes. Check our latest episode always on the front page of our website. Past episodes are on our YouTube channel. You'll link to all of that from the front page of the website, southwestoutdoorsreport.com, and go to our Facebook page for the latest news, videos, and photos. Until next week, I'm Barry Stokes saying be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all. The gar hooked in the tail. Can you believe this? I am one gar catching dude.